how would you like to be able to heal your self-doubt? Liv Wheeler will tell us how. She's a priestess, healer, and author. So Liv, tell us, how can entrepreneurs heal self-doubt? Heal Podcast with Lily Patrascu shares longevity and anti-aging techniques to stay young forever, increase energy, overcome addiction, and live your longest, best life ever. Shared by world's most innovative, alternative, and traditional health thought leaders, healers, and doctors. Discover quantum healing strategies to heal your mind, body, and soul.
Sure. Yeah. To heal one's self-doubt. I mean, for starters, it's a personal practice. You could start with loving yourself. To heal one's doubt, there's a very simple way that you can connect with yourself and start to actively each day, little by little, loving yourself in little and big ways, noticing the little voices that come up in your mind when you're receiving intuition and there's something that you want to do, and there's these little voices that come into your mind saying you're not good enough, you're too poor, you're not attractive enough, you don't measure up to other people, that you actively go into the practice of you just change little by little. You change that it's a process of alchemy, that you change those voices, understanding that you have the ability to transform those voices from the inside is one of the very accessible ways that you can start to transform self-doubt.
Thank you. So I'm wondering, first of all, where does self-doubt come from? Is it that, does it come from voices of people we have heard since childhood? Or does it have even bigger roots from experiences that our ancestors have had as well? Where, let's say, maybe, let's say my grandma or my grandma's grandma was afraid of spiders because of something that happened to her. Does that sort of like get transmitted to me, and because of that I have an unconscious fear of spiders? I'm just giving a theoretical example. Does that sort of thing impact, or tell us, where does self-doubt come from, and how can someone eradicate the causes of self-doubt?
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, looking into the roots or to the source of where is this rising from. So one place is from age 0 through 7, where when we grow up as a little baby into a child, then we're in a certain kind of brainwave state where we're directly downloading our experiences and we're receiving that as fact or as factual. And so we have all of these kinds of set of beliefs and impressions and things that are unconsciously or subconsciously dictating our life experience. Also, as you mentioned too, there's the ancestral stream that can come through our DNA, through unresolved ancestral trauma, through what our generations of ancestors experienced, and those impressions are also in our cellular body. And so those are a couple of the ways that these voices can be there in the kind of subtle kind of landscape of our being.
Thank you. So do people's words have like an impact on a cellular level on our body and on what we are like generally thinking? And how can we start to, let's say, having grown to believe that, let's say, I'm not good enough, or I'm not smart enough, or I'm not pretty enough, how can I start to eliminate those voices of self-doubt when I'm organizing a big event, or when I'm trying to do something that I deeply desire? How can I stop self-doubt when I'm doing something that is way out of my comfort zone?
Yep. There's actually a practice that I work with that is not something that I designed, but there's a practice called emotion code that people can practice on themselves. And there's also emotion code practitioners, and it can be sometimes as simple as I have a magnet right here. And there's ways that when we have these thoughts, because we're electromagnetic, our heart and our emotions magnetize, and electricity from our thoughts. And there's a particular energy pathway, a meridian that starts right here, or the one aspect of the meridian or the energy line in all of our bodies starts here right above the nose and then goes over the crown of the head to the back of the skull. And sometimes when it's a natural thing that rises, that we have fears and thoughts and doubts and all kinds of things that can come up that have us feel insecure and not able to accomplish what we want to accomplish. And there's a way that you can simply, especially if you can identify what that is, then you can, let's say, I'm clearing self-doubt. 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 And this is releasing it through our toroidal field. It's releasing it from that toroid so that the energy experiences that are coming in are reflecting something that we actually want to experience rather than something that's affirming our fear.
Thank you. I have actually used the emotion code on myself because there is a friend of mine who is not a practitioner, interestingly enough, but he learned it from one of the practitioners. And one thing I've discovered is that you can have even a chronic illness and you can overcome it with that. And I find it quite interesting. I haven't tried to use it for self-doubt. I didn't know you could use it for that as well, which is quite interesting. It's not just for like events that happen to kind of lead to a trapped emotion. It's for other things as well, isn't it? Or this is one of the trapped emotions, self-doubt, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. The trapped emotions, and that can also come, that's nested in from our, as you mentioned before, our ancestors. These experiences that they had that are still part of our kind of our being and our nervous system. And yeah, absolutely. I find that these different kinds of tools and kind of simple techniques can help to release these energetic kind of constraints that can, once we release those, then we can experience ourselves and life more in the expanded expression rather than a sense of contraction and feeling limited.
Thank you. So, the book that you wrote about the power of spiritual remembering and how reconnecting with our ancestors transforms our lives, is it around leveraging the emotion code or other techniques in order to release what no longer serves us, including self-doubt, or is it about something else that could potentially help with self-doubt?
Yeah, my book is speaking about, it's speaking about my journey of remembering. So my shamanic journey, starting 20 years ago, and as I kind of continued or following the voice of intuition, the spiritual voices that I was receiving from my ancestors, and that led me into my path of healing and eventually studying with my longtime teacher, that I studied with, Maladama Some, who's on the other side now, and being initiated in West Africa and traveling the world, sharing ceremonies and so many other things too. So yeah, but being a woman who's been on her journey with healing also simultaneous to sharing with others for 20 years, then I've just learned all these different techniques to be able to fulfill my purpose, growing up as a highly sensitive, very shy woman, yet having this calling, that we all, I believe, have these purposes, these callings. And so that's me sharing my journey in hopes that that can be inspirational to others.
Thank you. When you're trying to achieve something that is significantly higher than you're used to, self-doubt can come up. So what can someone do aside from the emotion code in order to quieten the mind? Because I find that maybe the mind is trying to kind of protect us from scary, unsafe situations, and unwillingly it is keeping us safe by trying to do less, by doing as little as possible. But by doing less, we actually don't stay safe at all. It's just like a false safety. How can we kind of teach our brain that it's okay to try new things? It's okay to take a risk. It's okay to like enlarge that comfort zone and not feel self-doubt when the self-doubt comes up.
Yeah. Yeah, there's different brainwave states that we have that maybe many people are aware of. And there are different kinds of music, audio tracks that one can listen to kind of slow down the brainwave state, and where we can consciously, deliberately impress our brain, our mind with different suggestions. But also I like to make what is referred to as just kind of like audio scripts with my own voice that I listen to through the night, and speaking what it is exactly that how I'm wanting to experience life, how I'm wanting to experience whatever that thing is that I'm trying to do, with speaking the impressions of I'm here with Lily and I'm experiencing calm confidence or something like that, and just it's continuously kind of impressing or watering these new seeds in there so that we can experience just, yeah, have beautiful experiences and beautiful connections with each other.
Thank you. Are you saying that even ahead of a potentially scary experience, like appearing on a new podcast with a person you don't know, that you are already creating affirmations that kind of represent your desired future, but you say it in the present tense and you affirm what you would like to see happen? And that's one thing that helps against self-doubt?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying, that I speak about it in the present tense. So it's speaking while we're sleeping, it's going directly into the subconscious, impressing, putting whole new kind of reality seeds in there. Exactly. And I find that when I do that, that I experience the upcoming event in a completely different way. Absolutely, yeah.
Thank you. So, why is it important to do that at night? Is it because we are more receptive to receive this information without questioning it, or is there a different reason?
Yeah, it's because of you ask really good questions. It's because of the particular brainwave states that the person is in when they're in sleep, then the subconscious is kind of wide open to receiving the suggestions. It has to do with the brainwave state.
Ah, thank you so much. Are there any other tips for entrepreneurs to heal self-doubt and become more empowered?
Yeah, there's so many. Yeah, I mean, I personally I work with the spiritual dimensions, and I have a shamanic school, and so my approach oftentimes is going to be through the lens of working with the spiritual dimensions, and I like to make offerings. You can do a simple offering, let's say to your ancestors. You can in the morning time, or to the angels that one is with, or to the particular guides that they're with, if they have a sense of who those are. Many people have angels with them. Perhaps all people have angels with them. And you could put, some flowers down for your angels, and make a prayer. And while you're making a prayer, asking them if they can support you in moving through this self-doubt, so that they or we may experience like the beauty of the physical world.
Okay, thank you. Tell us what else is useful for anyone who would like to eliminate self-doubt from their lives. What kind of habits or routines would they need to implement?
Well, I think a lot of it, just as you said, with habits and routines, I think it is just like that. It's creating the positive habits, whether there's a lot of different practices that I work with, and it might be just going into simple meditation, and feeling and sensing yourself in a state of, yeah, just a kind of imagining, sensing, experiencing yourself in a kind of feeling yourself as confident, sensing and imagining what you feel like in your just a kind of genuine confidence that comes from the inside, coming from the inside rather than the need for the external validation. But when we can find that place within ourselves, then we can be in all kinds of circumstances. So one can work with their imagination and imagine these different scenarios and imagining themselves as being in those situations, but feeling really just feeling good energy and confidence. But like you said, the habits is it's the repetition too. It just helps to continue, just like the building of the muscle, just continuing with the repetition.
Thank you. Is there anything that is possible to do to delete the memory of these voices that kind of say, "Oh, you're not good enough. You're never going to do this. You're never going to achieve this. You're just a dreamer." I don't know. All these kind of like negative self-doubt thoughts that come from people in your life that used to put you down or continuously still do it.
Yeah. There's also kind of depth hypnosis. People can work with practitioners with depth hypnosis. Also, a lot of times it's going into the trance state again with the different kinds of brainwave states. And then another way is I have back here this drum that many cultures work with these kinds of drums that this is also going to accomplish the same thing as when there's the way of going into kind of trance drumming or working with practitioners who have the ability to kind of it's accomplishing the same thing. It's basically going into the trance state. When I go like that, I'm showing, imagining like the brain waves. And so there are simple ways that one, again, if they're working with the drum themselves or working with a practitioner and going into that state and setting the intention to release. You can even imagine that person who has caused one to feel badly about themselves. Let's say that's their parent, and imagining when you go into that space, if there are some kind of hooks or something that are in you with your imagination, that you can imagine just releasing those hooks from that person, however it is that you're conceptualizing this, imagining those hooks releasing so that they don't have a kind of a grip or a power on or in your being, and so you can release and forgive.
Wow. So, do you believe it's actually possible to fully let go of self-doubt? Or do you believe that it will always be there and you just learn to kind of make the voice a little bit quieter? Almost like instead of it being like a big shouty voice, you turn it into this little mouse kind of voice that you almost don't hear because it is now overpowered by this bigger voice that becomes present, which is you are wonderful, you are great, you are amazing, you can achieve anything you want, you can do this big event or this whatever thing that you want to achieve.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't actually know. Does it always stay there? It's just like a little voice. Excuse me, I have heard that it does. I don't actually know. I mean, I would say I still have that comes in and I do the practices to move through it. But yeah, I wonder. I don't actually know. Does it stay there? But for sure, the other voices can get much louder, and we can continue to just move. Maybe it is just a natural thing that rises when doing something new. That there is that fear, that there's an actual kind of neurological response of, oh my gosh, I'm doing something new. What's going to happen? Can I accomplish this? Can I get to the other side of the river? And then we can do some kind of work or practice to calm ourselves down and say, I know you feel like you're not going to be able to do this, but think of all the times that you've done it before. You're going to be able to do this. We believe in you, or whatever that is, imagining your angels sending, positive, loving energy that fills your being with a sense of confidence and reassurance, and thinking about all the people that love you and believe in you, that do. I imagine every person has so many people that love and believe in them. Maybe even especially those that seemingly don't like them are actually the ones that really actually are believing in them.
Thank you. In cases where the source of stress is still in your life, so for example, in my case, my mom is still telling me, "Oh, you're just a dreamer. You never do this or you never do that. You're just this or you're just that." Um, what would you have someone, an entrepreneur like me, do where the source that is triggering you in terms of creating self doubt is still in your life and there's no way to remove it? And when that source, let's say, is reduced, there are other triggers that come that mimic that particular trigger, where there are other people who say, you can't do this, you'll never do this, you're not this, you're not that, you're never going to do that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I would, in that particular situation, I would imagine, I feel what could be potent is to use those audio suggestions at nighttime and try creatively alchemizing that kind of situation that that you could speak in creating that audio recording that you're going to listen to through the night. I would imagine you could create some kind of suggestion like, and I know that when people are criticizing me and letting me know that I'm not going to accomplish what I want to accomplish, and I am not being realistic. I know that they're speaking from their wound, and when this happens, I have a knowing that they actually do love me, and they're just speaking from their wound, and so I don't let this affect me or influence me. As an example,
Wow,
it's finding ways to transform or transmute the pattern. Yeah, as you're speaking about, it's an actual pattern. It's a pattern that's repeating, and finding ways to kind of start to transmute that pattern.
wow, that is so interesting. Tell us more about what other steps can someone take to reduce self-doubt?
Yeah. Let's see. So those are some of the practices, reducing self-doubt. Well, as I said, I think that it can also be to reduce self-doubt. You can also go into practices of things that you feel drawn to do, that you feel your heart is guiding you to do, that you feel passionate about, and having the sense of doing something that you love. Maybe somebody wants to do a singing lesson or a dance lesson or something, and giving that to oneself, allowing oneself to do what they're feeling called to, what they're feeling passionate about, and having that sense, working with a teacher that is very encouraging, and having that feeling of, if it's, let's say, a new dance or something, and you're getting to do some of, little by little you're learning, and that teacher is very encouraging to you. So you're having that physical experience of going into something new that your heart is calling you to do, and you're having positive feedback, and so it's reinforcing the positive in your being. So we all have this ability to be influenced by positive or negative or neutral, and so it's going towards something. It's that sensation of moving towards something new, and yet I'm moving towards something new that my heart is calling me to do, and I'm being met with love and support and encouragement, and I feel good, and it's building my confidence.
Thank you. What other positive reinforcement activities should someone do to build new positive, you can say new positivity in their life so they can replace the self-doubt with positivity?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel it could be nice also, women sometimes, I work with women a lot, so I'm thinking of women, but women can, you can come together with other women, and let's say the women that are together, they're wanting to support each other, doing new growing in their career, growing in their purpose, growing in their entrepreneurial efforts and choosing to be a circle that supports each other and checks in with each other and maybe meets regularly and encourages each other and you know and shares their resources and their knowledge together. I think that could be a beautiful way also.
Thank you. Are there any habits or routines for someone who regularly has self-doubt to start eliminating self-doubt from their life?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, as the ones that we've spoken about as well, and also it could be when you're first waking up in the morning. A lot of people speak about these being kind of prime opportunities, right when you wake up or right when you're going to sleep, when the subconscious has this opening, and you can put real positive habits in there. When you're just waking up, you can just take a moment before you really are, you know, going into whatever you're brushing your teeth or you're drinking coffee or whatever you're doing. You can take that moment to again imagine and feel and sense. I close my eyes because this is, you know, it's going into the inner world. And so imagining and feeling oneself in their day and feeling it as being well received. You know, we want to be well received by people, imagining that through our day and these new circumstances, we're being well received.
Thank you. Tell us where entrepreneurs can find you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So I have a website, earthsamulet.com, and that's a good place to go. So you can go to my website and sign up for my newsletter, and my social media is there as well.
Thank you. Follow me for more interviews with world's most innovative health change makers to live your healthiest life ever.